Today on the podcast, we're covering what I believe is an absolutely pivotal role for AI and bringing it to the masses, and that is the fact that Intel's Core Ultra CPUs are going to kickstart what I'm calling the AI PC era. Essentially, Intel has announced they're going to be making PCs and chips for PCs powerful enough that people can run their own AI models right on your own computer. This is going to be absolutely amazing, and as I've talked a lot about on other podcasts, with the kind of advent of these open source models, I think at the end of the day, anyone is going to be able to get any model they want with or without guardrails. And I don't think that's something we can stop. I think that's something we just need to discuss what the implications are of that happening, as it's kind of inevitable, especially now that Intel is making these computers strong enough. You don't need to, run this on a cloud. You don't need to have a VPN. You don't need to run this on AWS or anything else. This can be run directly on your own computer. And that's going to become more and more common in the future. So without further ado, let's dive into the podcast. Welcome to the world's #1 AI podcast, AI Chat. I'm your host, Jaden Schaefer. Make sure that you go to aibox.ai, link in the show notes, to join the waitlist for our new AI platform. We're going to be launching an incredible platform that allows you to build anything you want with workflows in AI. So you're able to chain together ChatGPT and image generators and audio generators to make really powerful apps for your organization, or you can host them on our marketplace and actually generate royalties from them. So make sure to go to aibox.ai and join the waitlist. In addition, if you like the podcast, if you could do me a massive favor and please leave us a review on Apple or Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcast. This helps me be able to get better guests on here as they check the reviews to see how you guys are liking it. So if you could please do that, I would really, really appreciate it. Have you ever wanted to start your own podcast? I record and publish podcasts on a platform called Spotify for Podcasters, and I absolutely love it. Essentially, you can upload from your phone or computer, and it distributes to every platform that plays podcasts. They support video podcasts, and you can make money on the platform with ads or even podcast subscriptions, something that has made my life so much easier as a podcaster. So if you're interested, I highly recommend you give it a try. You can download the Spotify for Podcast app or go to spotify.com/podcasters to get started on your podcast today. I think right now the tech world is really, really interested as Intel's foray into the world of AI PCs inches closer with the advent of the Meteor Lake. So while many might ask why this matters, I think Intel's ambitious vision and its potential billion-dollar value might be the answer. So previously known as Core Ultra, Intel's 14th gen chip is Meteor Lake, and it integrates NPU AI inference engines directly into its processors. So this development has not gone unnoticed. Robert Hallock, who's a former AMD stalwart and now spearheading technical CPU marketing for Intel's microprocessors, kind of highlighted that Intel envisions shipping a staggering 100 million AI PCs by 2025. I know I, for one, 100% would buy this. Everyone on my team that is currently working on my software startups, right, AI Box and everything else, we 100% would be buying these PCs. We want to be able to test, download, run AI models on our own computers. This makes it so much faster and more exciting to test things in real time. So the term AI PC gained traction this year when Intel CEO Pat Gensler started its kind of promotion. Timed with the start of the Intel Innovation Conference in San Jose, Intel unveiled the architecture behind the Core Ultra chip. So this event served as a platform for Intel to envision what the future might look like with AI at its core, particularly if Intel is the one powering it. One key distinction of Intel's Core Ultra is the transition to the Intel 4 process technology. With this shift, Intel has reimagined its kind of classic 2-die design, and it's breaking it into 4 distinct, quote-unquote tiles, which all interlinked through an interposer. So additionally, the transition to Intel 4 has led to a 50% reduction in power compared to its predecessor, which is really, really impressive, and the 13th gen Raptor Lake. So thanks in part to the novel low-power E-cores, this is all possible. I think the kind of crown jewel of this whole evolution is the NPU, which is kind of touted to democratize AI access. So Pat Gensler, during his inaugural keynote, kind of described the AI PC as, quote, a sea change in tech innovation. So I think the conviction he has is definitely very palatable across Intel's innovation conference. And the core message I feel like they were really kind of getting out there is everything AI. They're really, really focusing at Intel on making and enabling AI. I think they're seeing, right, obviously that NVIDIA passed $1 billion valuation. They're seeing how that company absolutely skyrocketed and benefited from AI and kind of focusing their marketing and their kind of their tone towards that. And so I think Intel is really kind of trying to follow in their footsteps. And I think Intel's aspirations to pioneer a novel AI PC market is definitely evident in response to a query from different tech journals about this potential market evolution. Their CEO said, "This is category creation at its finest." To be honest, I completely agree. This is not something that's very possible. Our CTO, Ben, who works at AI Box, like he has a very top of the line computer that he built himself. He's got all of the top of the line GPUs and CPUs and stuff. And so he can run different open source AI models on there. It's pretty kind of tricky to set a lot of this stuff up. I think this stuff is going to become easier and easier to run. And as these PCs are built with all of the needed hardware inside of them, this is absolutely going to democratize access to these AI models, which, we're already starting to find them on Hugging Faces and other places. So they're accessible, but it's like we don't have the hardware to really make them accessible. So I think this is incredibly exciting. Traditionally, AI's domain has been kind of confined to the cloud or smartphones, providing functionalities like portrait mode or, filters like that you're going to see on Facebook or, a bunch of different like social apps. That's kind of where you see it. In contrast, PCs have seen really limited AI integrations, mostly limited to kind of like Windows Studio effects. Intel, however, envisions local PC AI that offers a more personal touch without the need for back and forth data trips to the cloud, right? Because right now, if you're using AI on your PC, like chances are it's because it's hooked up to a cloud that's actually doing the processing. It's not processing on your computer. So I think the roadmap to realizing this vision seems multifaceted. To begin with, Intel has meticulously designed the hardware. Showcased recently in Malaysia, the design promises that the NPU would be more energy efficient for AI tasks than kind of standalone CPUs or GPUs. Additionally, Intel has given glimpses of its future AI innovations with revelations like the Lunar Lake, Arrow Lake, and Panther Lake chips that they are currently working on. And I think furthermore, AI emphasized the current and future AI applications such as Deep Render, Rewind.ai, and Fabletics, and collaborations with FitMatch AI. I think these kind of demonstrations serve a dual purpose. Number one, they're illustrating the potential for AI while also kind of subtly addressing consumer questions around the tangible benefits of local PC AI. They're really showing what you can actually do with this. So Michael Johnson Holothaus, who's Intel's executive vice president and head for Intel's client computing group, recently said, quote, "I'm going to deliver a cadence of products yearly, and that really opens the ecosystem up." This is exciting, right? This isn't just them saying, hey, we got this cool thing. They're really committed to like a cadence of annual products that are constantly being upgraded. I think this is really what consumers want, and this is going to really accelerate AI adoption. I think while the promise is there, the journey of AI's integration into PCs, right, is obviously at its infancy. They're announcing these things, but we don't have them in our hands yet. I think as they kind of mentioned, it's, AI is still in its kind of fine-tuning phase. And I think a lot remains to be seen regarding benchmarks, performance metrics, and how Intel's AI is going to actually compare against industry rivals like AMD and Qualcomm. But I think despite all of this uncertainty, and definitely there's a lot of kind of uncharted terrain out there with this, one thing is definitely clear, and that is that AI's rapid assimilation into our digital lives has been transformative. It was just this year that ChatGPT was launched, and now, we're looking at the fact that in less than a year, every single tech startup is transforming into an AI startup. Every single company is focusing on looking at ways that they can integrate AI. The ones that are not are frankly being left behind and will probably slowly die. And I think we're going to see a lot of winners, a lot of losers, and probably a lot of people that integrate it and continue to just see healthy growth in their company. This is going to be really interesting as this entire PC era with AI kind of comes to the forefront, and definitely something we'll be excited to watch as time passes.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Forget the frustration of picking commerce platforms when you switch your business to Shopify, the global commerce platform that supercharges your selling wherever you sell. With Shopify, you'll harness the same intuitive features, trusted apps, and powerful analytics used by the world's leading brands. Sign up today for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/tech, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/tech.
Thank you for listening to the AI Chat Podcast. If you enjoyed the podcast, I'd appreciate it if you rate me wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you're looking for an innovative group of AI enthusiasts, make sure you check out our Discord channel and also our Facebook community. It's obviously a lot more interactive than a podcast where we can actually share software tools, prompts that we're using in everyday AI. I'll leave a link for those in the description below.